Dingo Trax is a tag-along tour company that operates through the Simpson Desert. We do a couple of different trips in the Simpson. We do the Northern Safari, which is the Hay River track, and also the Madigan line, which runs west to east across the central part of the Simpson. That follows in Cecil Madigan's footsteps. The other one that we do is the Hay, which is the one we're on this tour, and that comes down from the northern regions of the Simpson down through the swales of the dunes for 650 k's down through the Simpson. Eventually hooks up to Popple Corner and then across the QAA line into Birdsville and then back down the Birdsville track. We're meeting here at Maree, about 700 k's north of Adelaide. Our first day will consist of leaving here after a briefing in the morning at about 8:30. We will take on a couple of sites on the way down the Oodnadatta track, and then we'll head to a place called Coward Springs, which has a date farm there and a coffee shop. We'll have morning tea there. We'll head off and make William Creek tomorrow. We will then stay in William Creek at the hotel there, have dinner, camp, and that'll finish our first day on the Oodnadatta track. I'm probably one of the few tour operators that operate what I call clockwise in the Simpson. A lot of them take up the Birdsville track and go across the Simpson from east to west. I actually go around this way because it gradually breaks people into it. You're taking on the dunes on the easier approach. You're not driving into the sun all day. It's just easier on vehicles, it's easier on the body, and it's just a better trip all around, I think, where, as I said, a lot of them go up the Birdsville track and across and take on the most difficult dunes in the desert day one, and it breaks a lot of people's spirit when they can't get up. So I think this is the right one to do. Yeah, look, there's a lot of people that have come out to these places and think they've been full driving, and they haven't. They haven't even had the vehicle in low range. They weren't even aware that they had a low range switch in the button or a button in the vehicle. So it's an eye-opener for them when they can transform their vehicle into a street car, into something that'll be climbing dunes and having a wow of a time. It's a big eye-opener for them, and they much appreciate it. We've had people out here that have never been in a four-wheel drive before, and it's their first trip. They've hired a four-wheel drive. They've read about what we do. They know they're safe coming with Dingo. It's a tour that virtually any novice can get into and have a lot of fun and know that they're going to make it through all the way. You know, and that's what it is all about, is having us there to support them and make sure that they do get through safely. It's all about gaining new friends. A lot of people want to do these trips but don't have any friends that are interested in that sort of thing. So this is their opportunity to go out and do it and meet new people. And then quite often we have them back 2 or 3 times, and then they meet friends in this environment and they'll go with those people that they've met and take on other trips on their own.
So the Dingo Trax tour that we're on at the moment, we kicked off in Maree, and then yeah, at the moment we're on our way to Oodnadatta. Just stopped at the Alger-Buckner Bridge. Been a really, really great tour so far. Yeah, enjoying it. The way that the groups come together, I mean, there's quite a few vehicles in the convoy. Like, I've been travelling around by myself, so to join up with fellow travellers, like, yeah, it's been really good.
We're at Alger-Buckner, about 130 k's north of William Creek. This is apparently the longest bridge in the Garn railway system. There's a story about a car being hit here by the Garn locomotive and pushed across the bridge, and there's remnants of it here. There's a creek here that holds water, I think, all year round. It's a nice camp spot. It's a good place to come and camp and have a bit of a wander around, and we're only about 40, 50 k's out of Oodnadatta. We're an accredited four-wheel drive licensed tour operator. We operate in 3 different states, and we are licensed in all states, but we operate through this region in 3 different states. So, you know, we have to meet certain criteria for every one of those, and that's a bit of peace of mind for people too. They don't need to worry about bothering with all that detail, so we can take that away from them.
Coming up, we begin the restoration process of the Dingo Well. This will bring much needed water to this remote location for wildlife and needy travellers.
Dingo Well was put in about 10 years ago by the biodiversity company in Queensland. It was primarily set up to bring water back into the desert for the dingoes. The dingoes have been a big part of the desert, and they've been here for many, many years, and back into the days when Aboriginals wandered around here. There was plenty of water in the desert then because a lot of the Aboriginal sites had soaks and different water sources. So the dingoes thrived, and a lot of the wildlife thrived. And then, of course, once the Aboriginals left the area, a lot of the dingoes just ceased to exist. So they put this well in order to try to bring life back into the desert. Now, it worked, and it did work for 10 years. And on one of my trips 2 years ago, I noticed that it wasn't working. And it took me nearly 18 months to get to the bottom of who put it in and reach out to the people that were involved in it all. I succeeded and got involved in being Dingo Well, and this is Dingo Trax. I thought there was a good catch there, so I figured this could be beneficial for everyone. I'll get this well going again. So I took it upon ourselves to, with some of our customers, pull the pump out of the bore back in June, and I had it refurbished in Broken Hill. I've recently just picked it up only a couple of days ago, and we've got some of our guests from previous trips that have come back on this trip to be involved in reinstating it and getting water. So this is a really special trip in the sense that it'll be putting water back into the desert for the dingoes and for the camels. And, a lot of people don't like the idea of camels out in the bush, but they're a part of our history as well. So without them, these places wouldn't exist. They were here carting building materials in and really part of our history. So, yeah, they'll get a drink as well.
Well, yeah, the well has stopped working, and we've decided to have a crack at getting it back up and running again. It was my first tag-along tour, and John was telling us about the well. It just seemed like a good idea at the time to try and get it up and running, and we couldn't, so we pulled the pump and had it repaired. Today is to put the pump back down into the water and hopefully turn the tap on and have water back in the desert.
We're about to reinstall that pump that we took out a few months ago, got it refurbished. And we've placed the pipe back into the ground here, so in a few minutes we're going to pull that out, hook that back up to our pump and drop it back down the hole. All things being well, with the connections all done correctly, maybe some priming, not sure how we're going to go yet on that, but we'll drop it in the hole and we'll give it a test and see how we go from there. Kerry Turnley from Westside Camping in Broken Hill was great. He organised the pump to get refurbished from a fella he knows over there, and we picked it up on the way through on this trip. The way it all works is the bore casing's here, pumps water up into a pipe. Pipe runs up along the ground here to a header tank up there 100 metres, and it holds in that tank. It then feeds down to a trough on a ball valve. So once that's full, in theory, the ball valve locks it off. And it's there for the animals to just come in and get a drink. They've got a barricade around that as well, so camels can't get in and bust the trough up. The pump's a solar pump, so it runs during sunlight hours only. And that, in theory, again, is supposed to just fill everything. And then at night time it rests, and then the next day it runs again. So there's plenty of water in the ground here, and hopefully we can keep it running for years to come.
A submersible, it's a pump that you put down the bottom of the hole. You have your stator and your electric motor, and you have a lead coming up to the top that hooks up to a control here, and it goes from there to the solar panel. And the solar panel creates the energy to run the pump. The way we get the pump down is we'll have somebody here and some people back here feeding it in so we don't kink the pipe, put it down the hole. Once it's down, then we can start working on putting the electrics on and so forth and hooking the poly up, and hopefully then it'll work.
We arrived here late yesterday afternoon. It was about 36 degrees, I believe. And we stopped in here, had a look, set up camp, and we've come down here early this morning and we've completed the process of reinstalling the pump, and it's all working, which is a great outcome. In a desert, there's very minimal water, so these wells can sustain all sorts of wildlife, bird life, animal life, and also travellers who run short of water can come here and get life-saving water if necessary. It feels great because I've travelled all over Australia and I really love the country, and it's great to be able to contribute and help things for other people so they can come in the future.
This is a sign from on behalf of workers that have been involved in making this happen.
Next, we check out Old Dado Station and take on the big red sand dune in our Jeep Gladiator.
It's a personal thing, tyre pressures. I won't take people out in the desert unless they're prepared to. There are people that just refuse to let their tyres down. I don't quite understand why, but some old blokes, you know, I bumped into have just been, you know, old school and go, no, we won't do that. Well, you know, after I've towed them up 2 or 3 dunes, and I'm not going to tow them up anymore, they're going to let their tyres down. So we've had to physically actually just go and do that for them sometimes. But the idea is to lengthen your tread out on your tyre a bit, so width and elongation, so length and width. And once you do that, there's not a dune in the Simpson Desert that you can't drive halfway up, get out, take a photo, get back in the car and drive the rest of the way if you've got the right tyre pressure. It's not a dune in that desert, and I've been all through it. There's not a dune in that desert that you can't do that in. And yet I go out there consistently and see people trying to take on dunes with speed and can't get up them. And they can't understand why. And when you tell them to let their tyres down, they tell you to nick off, you know, like they're not interested. But honestly, with the right tyre pressures, you can just walk up any dune in that desert, no problem. Half the time you don't even need four-wheel drive, but I don't encourage that. I think four-wheel drive is necessary because it treats the desert a bit more gently. You're not chewing holes in the dunes. So four-wheel drive, engaged, right tyre pressures, and just cruise around and you won't have a problem in the world.
Well, to put you in perspective first, we're about 130 k's line of sight from the centre of Australia. Our nearest town where we do our shopping is Alice Springs, which is about 320 k's northwest of us. Other than that, we've got Oodnadatta, 250 k's to the south of us, and Culgara, it's out on the highway, about the same distance. It was originally a station, you know, so it was taken over by parks, and the whole of Witcher National Park used to be part of Mount Dare Station. And so all the buildings you see here are all station houses, station buildings, apart from the pub, which, well, it was always a station building, it was just a shed. Well, obviously the hotel, food, we've got cabins, we've got 8 cabins, and we've got a large bush camping area. We've got a fully equipped workshop, professional mechanics working for us. Have a lovely beer garden out there, bit of greenery. That's a lot of people comment when they come in, something green, fantastic. We do recoveries out in the Simpson. Birdsville do one side, or they do a lot, we do a lot. There's no particular strict line.
Oh, it's fantastic being on the Dingo tours. It's an experience, and I've done it once, now I've done it twice. Yeah, I like to help out where I can, yeah. I've done lead, I've done Charlie. It's easy to get lost in the desert, so I like to have something that will guide me through, as well as a backup. You can go from beach to beach to beach to beach. Water's water. You get out here, the country changes day by day. Vegetation changes, wildlife changes, birds, everything. It's, yeah, diverse. Yeah, the first thing we seen after we left the Batten Hill was a camel, so something you don't expect to see straight away. Oh yeah, well, everybody's got to help everybody. Out here, survival's the key. If somebody has run out of something, well, you share, but you never leave them behind. Oh, it's magic. And with a leader like John, it's, yeah, the whole trip just keeps getting better.
people that experienced full drivers. There's a couple of mates of mine that race cars and things like that, and they love this track out here. Not for the speed at all, we don't encourage that, but just the conditions and the way that it sort of meanders around and winds itself around everything. It's beautiful to drive. There's cattle that have dotted through it all the way, so you've got to keep your eyes open on them. They're a bit wild, some of these cattle out here. They're pretty crazy. They stand there until you're just about in front of them, beside them, and then sort of dart off in front of the car. So you've got to keep your wits about you. You can't afford to be sort of speeding along. You just got to poke along quietly and keep an eye on everything. Keep an eye on your gauges. Keep a window down, have a listen for rattles and bangs outside the car, because that's a good indicator something's going wrong. So a lot of people sit in vehicles with radios going, air conditioners on, and the car's falling apart around them outside. They've got no idea. We're heading to Old Andado Station today. Was owned by Mac and Molly Clark. Yeah, Molly was a founder of the Women's Pioneer Association in Northern Territory and lived out here for 50 years with her husband, Mac Clark. Molly left this place as a bit of a testament to the way people lived back in these places, back in the early pioneering days of Australia. It is a time capsule and well worth a look around. This is Molly's kitchen here. You can only imagine how hot it would have been. I mean, with this thing running, Billy would have been on every day, all day, because she was always expecting guests. And obviously this is where they sat down. She made them cups of tea. It's a cool day today and it's still 38 degrees on the thermometer out there. So you can imagine on a 45-degree day what it'd be like in here. You'd be frying eggs on the roof, I reckon. This is fantastic because it's a live line. Telstra's got this hooked up and they encourage people to use this because if they use it, they won't disconnect it. So it's outside calling and yeah, no problem. Hello, yeah, g'day, can you hear me? How are you going? John, yeah, from Dingo Trax. So that's a brick. I'm pretty certain that's a shortwave radio. You've got a HF radio. So this is the old meat safe out here, which is worth a look. You won't believe how cool it is. Like it's a 35-degree day, 38-degree day here now, but it'd be mid-20s in there. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so this is the meat safe here, where they did a lot of the butchering of the meat. So here's the ring they used to hang it off, and it's really cool in here. So they'd just keep the flies off it, and it'd hang for days or weeks, I suppose. Really, still in good nick. Old benches, old grinding stone outside. We're at Popal Corner right now. This is the 3 states. We've got Queensland over there, South Australia there, Northern Territory that way.
It was great going with Dingo Trax tours. I think we always wanted to go across the Simpson, but we just weren't confident to do it on our own. So it was really good to go with someone that knew the territory, could show you the great spots, but also just that safety aspect of knowing that you weren't alone in the desert. And the other really wonderful thing about it was the group that we went with. You know, it was just fantastic people and the camaraderie was great, and yeah, it just made it so much more fun.
I went on a Dingo Trax tour about 8 weeks ago and I really enjoyed myself. It's a well-managed, well-organised tour, but you don't seem like you're under a real tight schedule, so you can really enjoy yourself. and all the issues are taken care of. I heard about the Dingo Well project, so I signed up for that, and we've just completed that, and it's been a really great tour, and I recommend it to anyone.
Oh, it's just been unreal. I've done a lot of four-wheel driving, and you don't realise until you go with someone who's experienced, like John, that you find out the things that you don't know. And I've learnt quite a lot, particularly doing the sand dunes and things like that, so it's been awesome.
The Dingo Track experience has been fabulous. I love the sand dunes, driving up and down. What I didn't know was you should do sand dunes at a nice steady pace. I thought you had to floor it on everyone and literally smash your car, but you actually don't. You set your car up and pretty much it walks up really nicely. So that was really fabulous experience, and John's just been amazing in walking us through all of that. The other thing I really loved was sleeping outside under the stars. That was just amazing, and waking up to the beautiful sunrises, sunsets, just unbelievable.